Daniel, Glenn West with 24/7 Sports. Nice to meet you. Just, I guess maybe talk about your journey here and how you wound up committing to LSU, what the conversations were like with Jay in the off season, and just your overall impact that you think you can have on the team.
Yeah, super blessed to have the opportunity to play at Utah Valley. Gave me an opportunity that no one else did, and I was a preferred walk-on there, so I'm forever grateful for the opportunities that I got there. When I decided to enter the transfer portal, Coach Johnson was one of my first calls. From the minute that we started talking, we clicked. Coach Eddie Smith, who was at Utah Valley, actually was here for, I think, a year or two. And so just being in his office and kind of seeing the LSU logo all over and everything signed and all the history of good players from there, that's kind of where I got the itch to want to come here. So when Coach Johnson called me and gave me the opportunity, I decided to take a visit, and this was the only one that I wanted to take, and committed on the spot here. So, I mean, it was kind of a no-brainer. I really was interested in this place and excited to come make an impact on a team.
What sort of where'd you Koki Riley from the Advocate? Where did you sort of come up with the idea of entering the portal in the first place?
It actually took me a while. I'm very loyal to the people that I get the opportunity to play for, or the people in my corner. So my whole summer mentality was to just go play in the Cape, play in Team USA, and then go back to Utah Valley actually. But I realized after some conversations that it's my career, and I'm not going to burn bridges by wanting to play against the best competition. And so I realized being in the Cape and Team USA that this is what's best for me, and being able to play against the best is what I wanted to do.
Did you sort of get to meet Steven and talk with Steven a little bit while you were together at Team
Yeah,
USA? Or?
we kind of passed by each other a couple times, but he hurt his foot, and so he had to leave early. So we didn't get much conversation, no.
You'll have to forgive me. I'm not very familiar with Utah State's baseball program, but
Valley.
see, well, there you go. I'm even less familiar with that one.
It's all good.
What's it like, I guess, to get on the field and see the guys around you and kind of the competition that now you're a part of, and they want you here, right? Like, it's not like you have to prove anything. What's that like, I guess, for a shot of confidence, but also, to take your game to the next level?
Yeah, incredible. Definitely blessed to have the opportunity, humbled, super excited. I would just say from the minute that I stepped on the field on my official visit, I could feel the energy, I could feel the community around me, and no one was in the stadium. I'm just super excited to play hard, go win championships, and just be a positive impact to the community.
Yeah, Jay was talking about the trip y'all took to Biloxi a couple weeks ago and all the fans that were there. Was that the most amount of fans you think you probably played against in your career?
Yeah, it was around that for sure. The Cape Championship, the Harwich Mariners, we actually won it this summer, so that was pretty fun. There was like 6,000 people around there, so definitely Biloxi, and then the Cape was for sure the most people I've ever played in front of.
And just have you had conversations with some of your teammates that have played here, and just kind of what to expect in that regard? Because I mean, it is a pretty iconic place with a lot of fans that show up week in and week out for the team.
Yeah, I've had some conversations. I'm really just excited to play in front of a bunch of people. I mean, the community, that's one of the reasons why I came here. I mean, that's the calling card here, play in front of a lot of people, play in front of people that care, and go win national championships. So super excited for that.
Even before you entered the portal, did you have any conversations with Eddie Smith about LSU, what it's like to be here, and any of that sort of stuff that sort of tickled your brain?
Not really, because I just feel like I was very blessed to be at Utah Valley, and he was too. It was his first head coaching job at a Division I school, so we kind of got really, really close with just building something at a school that not many people know about, and we did that. We were one game away from making a regional, and so I feel like we were really bought into what we were building at that place.
And he ended up taking the head coaching job at Washington, right?
Yeah.
Like, what was sort of the timing of that? Like, were you already in the portal and he was already at Washington when you sort of told him about playing here?
I had entered the portal, called him, and he was still at Utah Valley. And then a couple days later, he announced that he was going to go to UW. And so there was some conversation there, but I knew I wanted to come to the SEC.
You're also a pretty good bunter. I saw it a couple times.
Yeah.
How did you sort of develop that, kind of unique part of your game?
Yeah, West Coast baseball for sure. I feel like I grown up playing like fundamental sound baseball, ground balls, bunting, playing catch, being really fundamental. I also wasn't very big growing up, which is why I was a preferred walk-on, super under-recruited. I mean, I just have to play hard and make sure that people know I'm here, and I'm going to affect the game in a bunch of different ways that you may not see very often.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask you about. I mean, it sounds you prefer walk-on at a school like Utah Valley. I mean, just how big of a chip do you kind of play with on your shoulder, considering that how far it's taken you to get to this place where you're playing for one of the premier programs in college baseball? Just maybe talk about kind of your own journey through just kind of overcoming some of the, not that much hype around you, I guess, early in your career.
Definitely a huge chip. I mean, I feel like that's one of my biggest things is being a confident player, playing with a huge chip on my shoulder. I'm going to make sure that I'm out there and you can see me affect the game. I was committed to a junior college my junior year, committed to an NAI school my senior year, and then graduated high school, registered for classes and all, going there. And then Coach Smith saw me play and he just said, hey, we have a spot for you, but we don't have any money since it's so late. So, like I said, very blessed to have the opportunity and be a part of that program, as well as getting the opportunity to play here. But, I mean, day by day, I want to thank my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. Like, I'm just super blessed to be in the area that I am, and all the hard work and dreams that I've had and put in, I just really appreciate it.
You mentioned one of the reasons why you might have been under-recruited because you were smaller. So how small were you, and how much have you grown since then?
Yeah, my freshman year of high school, I was 5'4", 160 pounds, and I ran an 8-second 60 at a perfect game event. So I have a perfect game profile out there, and it's very bad. So, yeah.
Then how did you sort of grow and, I guess, develop your body from that point on?
Just super late bloomer. I would say going into my junior year is when I sprouted. I would say I was probably 5'11", 170, 180 pounds my junior year. And so it was just super late and tough for recruiting, obviously, because when you get into recruiting, it's your freshman and sophomore year of high school. So it came late, but I always had the dreams of playing in the big leagues. So it was just a matter of not really letting outside voices get in and working hard to achieve the dreams that you've always had.
And what's it been like facing, I guess, this level of pitching consistently? I mean, I guess you saw it in the Cape too, but
Yeah.
especially here.
I would say that the difference between like mid-major pitching and SEC pitching would be the consistency of guys. So I was exposed to the good pitching, just not like over and over and over. And then going to the Cape definitely helped. I struggled in the Cape a little bit, but I would say there's always transition periods going from a level to a higher level. And so I would just say being here, I got a little bit more comfortable, but there's always transition times, and I'm really excited to see what I could do during the season. I feel like I'm ready to go.
I feel like you got a good nickname. What's your nickname? Do you have one? You feel like a guy that should have a good nickname.
I mean, Danny D, DD14, like that's, I don't know, that's about it. My middle name's Cooper, so some friends back home call me Coop Coop, but that's about it.
Anthony Koki Riley with The Advocate. Why'd you decide to come to LSU?
Yeah, LSU, I mean, right off the bat, I knew going into Team USA and everything like that, I wanted to compete at a higher level, athletically. Knew I would want to come to, SEC, stuff like that. Just wanted to compete, for a national championship, and that was one of the biggest reasons for me to, do what I did.
And why did you decide to enter the portal in the first place? I think you entered pretty late as well, right?
Yeah, I entered the portal pretty late. Didn't really make a decision until I was at Team USA, obviously. And, I just think the biggest thing for me, like I said, was just wanting to compete at a higher level. Danny said it's his career, just like me, it's my career. And I just wanted to make, a better decision for, me going forward.
And then how would you sort of describe yourself as a pitcher? Like, what's your pitch mix? What are you trying to improve on? Stuff like that.
Yeah, this whole fall has been me improving on my fastball and just the shape of it. But, I'm West Coast type of pitcher. Pretty confident throwing any pitch in any count. Just want to make my identity with my poise and my command. Those are two things that I'm really prideful about.
Just, I guess, a bunch of you guys kind of came in at the same time. It's going to be a pretty completely new staff. Just talk about maybe some of the conversations you've had with some of the new teammates and kind of maybe what you've learned from this pitching staff this fall, just kind of how good y'all can be, and just the different. Is there a pitch on this staff that maybe you've noticed that is pretty hard to hit? Anything like that?
Yeah, I think all the pitchers, just talking to all of them, butting heads with all of them, learning about what pitches they throw, stuff like that, their experiences in the SEC. For example, Cade Anderson, one of those guys that has experience from here last year. Just talked to him a lot about the experience here, what's it like playing in front of the fans here. Yeah, and we all have one goal in mind, that's to win a national championship. So I think that's where we collaborate a lot.
What's been the biggest transition between, facing these SEC hitters now over this past fall? Like, what did you sort of learn about yourself, and what that transition's been like for you?
Yeah, facing SEC hitters, obviously they're going to be bigger, stronger, hit the ball harder, run faster. I think the biggest thing that I've learned is the same game. You get ahead of guys, make good pitches and good counts, you'll have a lot of success. So I think that's something that stuck with me.
When you have so many new guys coming in, what do you all do as a team? Like, what do the coaches try to get you to do? But then what do you guys do as a team to kind of mesh and meld together?
Yeah, I would say we have a good amount of team bonding, just getting to learn and be around each other just because, like you said, there's a lot of new guys. I think the best teams are formed with people that, care about each other. I think just learning people on, a personal level first and then developing, brotherhood with baseball after that would be the biggest thing.
Is it dinners, video games? Like, what
Yeah, I would say I play a lot of video games with my teammates, just, I would say the bond part of it, like I said, yeah.
What has Nate Yeske been, what's it been like working with him, and what has he tried to work on with you so far?
Yeah, Nate Yeske, Coach Yeske, of course, it's been really good working with him. I think he's impacted me the most on perspective. I feel like I'm coached the best when it's pertained to perspective. So I think him just helping me understand, how to get SEC hitters out compared to, West Coast hitters. Just a slight difference, but I think he's really good at, he understands with his past at Oregon State, West Coast type of baseball, and then in the SEC, obviously. I think just, butting heads with him and, our successes together will help me going forward.
And when you mention perspective, what do you sort of mean by what sort of perspective he's trying to ingrain you, or you're trying to sort of learn?
Yeah, I would say just the game within the game, talking about first pitch strike, early and ahead, 2 out of 3 for strikes, being able to throw the same pitch back-to-back, better locations, stuff like that, the stuff that separates, high school pitchers and then pitchers from the next levels going forward.
All right, good deal. Thank you, sir.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.